Gotcha. Do you think throughout human history, religion was like the main or one of the main causes of conflict between humans?
Um, it's definitely one of the causes. I don't think. I mean, I think some. Yeah, some probably people people say like. Uh, so there's a book by Christopher Hitchens, this famous atheist who said the title was "God is not great," and then the subtitle was "How Religion Poisons Everything." And his view was, I mean, it seems like every problem can be kind of traced down to religion, but I don't think that's
Oh
true. I mean, like,
yeah, this guy's
yeah,
dead. I
yeah.
remember this guy.
He died about, I think, just like it was
He's
just the
he's got some
10 year
funny
anniversary of his
snippets.
death.
Yeah, yeah, he's a funny
Oh
guy.
yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, he's a really great speaker, but I think he maybe overreached in that particular case. I mean, like there's plenty of other reasons for people to have conflicts, in terms of like desiring someone else's resources, or having or just political disagreements, or like ethnic prejudices, or things like this. But I think like religion, if you add religion to the mix, that probably exacerbates the problem. So like, for example, um, a lot of like Western colonialism, obviously, there was kind of like material desires, to put it one way, like the like the colonizing powers desired um, the wealth of other countries. But then like imperialism is also justified by saying like these people are not, they're heathens or whatever. They're like, we want to convert them to our religion, like at the same time as like um, getting their resources or whatever. So I think like, yeah, I don't think religion is the main or only source of conflict, but it can maybe exacerbate things when it's kind of added to the mix, I would say.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've never read that book. I would want to read it to get it, a real good grasp on what it's all about, obviously. But
Mm. Mm.
what's it called? When it, because at least my mindset is, and I would guess yours is too, is that like religion was created by us people. We
Mhm.
had the
Mhm.
idea of religion, and whichever religion that is. I mean, almost
Mhm.
all the ideas we came up with are from people. Maybe a couple from a dolphin and like a sea turtle, but
Right, right, yeah.
so I
Yeah.
would just say like at the core of it, it's human conflict is it's humans because we
Mhm.
created religion and then we created different types and we decided as different people decided to believe in different beliefs and different religions and different ideologies. So at the end of the day, it's like no matter what happens, I don't think it's fair to either blame religion or atheism. Kind of like, it's not fair to blame like the drug or the gun or whatever. It's the person who's the source of
Mhm.
the conflict. It's like I remember me and my old co-host Jem, we were we were in a debate which we were just like in a corner in.
Mhm.
Oh, by the way, your mic's making this weird hissing
Mhm.
sound.
Maybe,
Yeah, all good. Yeah,
yeah,
no, trust
okay.
me, my heater sometimes kicks in, and I'll turn that.
Okay.
I'll fucking run to that thing. Um,
Yeah, okay.
we were having a debate about like how I don't remember the exact views the people we were talking to from. We were just so like intimidated because we're like, what the fuck? Thousands of people are watching. Like, what the fuck? We were so like, we were just two idiots coming into like we thought we were walking into a bar fight. We're like, no, we walked into like a formal debate with suit and ties. Um,
Right. Yeah,
but
yeah.
there are a lot of people who want to say burn the Quran, right? Or just like get rid of it. And it's just like, listen, man, at the end of the day, if you think people are being brainwashed from like birth to believe in an ideology, it's the people who are teaching them. The book is just a book. It can't do anything. It's paper, it's pages. Yes, there's ideas and everything on there, and someone could read it and really. But that's the thing. If someone as an adult reads that and say shoots John Lennon, that's not. It's not Huckleberry Finn's fault. It's the person who. I think that was. I think that was the book, by the way. It's the person, and then
Or was
it's.
it okay?
I forget. I forget actually.
Yeah.
Is it, by the way, is it Huckleberry Finn? I don't think it's Huckleberry Finn.
I'm not sure.
Oh, fuck. But, and the other way around, if someone, if someone, say, at a young, is trying to indoctrinate someone at a baby's age all the way to it's the person who's doing that to that person. It's the pages in between. That's just, in a way, like the weapon they're using, if you want to call it that. Like, there's probably a better word. That's the item they're using. It doesn't, without the person using that item, it's just an item.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely see what you mean. And I agree to some extent. I think like, it seems like most holy books, like if you want to find an interpretation to support your own like actions, you can do it, because, there's a ton of different ways of interpreting the books and so on. And like, there's a lot of ambiguity in the text. And so if you want to find a way to justify something, you can find it. And then if you want to find a way to justify the opposite, you can also find that. So I think it's like you said, like it does come down to the person, but at the same time, like I don't think the interpretations are endless. I mean, if you really believe in a particular book, you're constrained to some extent. And if you believe like it's true, then it might lead you to behave in certain ways when you might otherwise not do that. So I think yes, to some extent, it is about the person, but then the actual content of the book does matter, I think, to some extent. Yeah.
I get what you're saying, but isn't it then, like you said, like I would just say it's 100% the person, because if I have two people, person A and B, and I give them the same book, and one person puts it down and goes, yeah, that was a book, and then goes on with their lives, and the other person puts it down and is like, I have to kill every minority in the world. It's like the independent variable in there was the book. The dependent was person A and B. So if the independent variable isn't changing, that means, A and B, they're dependent on the independent variable. It's their opportunity to take what they did from the book.
That's true. I mean, yeah, I think that makes sense.
That might have been the smartest thing I've ever said in my life, and it wasn't even that smart. Like that was like fourth grade science. So like that's my level right there.
No. I definitely see your point. I think like one sort of example I'm thinking of is the question of slavery, and just like the debate about slavery in the U.S. In the 1800s, and basically. Pro-slavery people cited the Bible to justify slavery, and like anti-slavery people also cited the Bible, like different verses.
Hilarious. By the way, what chapter is the pro-slavery side reading? Like where in the Bible is like like a little snippet? Like, by the way, you can to get the blacks and just use them. Blah blah blah. All right, and anyway, now back to Jesus.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I think like it's in, I'm not sure, in some of the Old Testament, I think like Leviticus, I think there are some things about, so this is all about like the ancient Israelites and like the conditions under which one could keep a slave and things like that. And then like there's also in the New Testament, there's something, the line I think from St. Paul saying something about slave or servants should obey their masters, which basically I think is just saying like in the when in the afterlife everyone's going to be equal, so it doesn't matter what really happens in this life anyway. But then like so I mean like you could find verses in the Bible to sort of support your claim, but then like the anti-slavery people said they looked just more things about like the golden rule and things like treat others how you want to be treated, and obviously most people wouldn't want to be a slave. So yeah,
they wanted to be slaves, so I had them be slaves.
Yeah. So I think like, but I think for someone who So I think it does depend to some extent on like personality or whatever. But I think for someone like a white person in the South in the 1800s, like who owned slaves, um, they would just grow up believing that slavery is correct and would be reading the Bible. I mean, it might be the rare person who became an abolitionist in from that context, but it would probably be unlikely. I mean, I think it's maybe more likely that they would just grow up believing that, and then they would find a reason to believe that. So I think yeah, I mean, I think there's a limit to how much one's like personality could kind of influence like how you read the book. I mean, I guess probably everyone would want to say like, yeah, like, oh, if I was alive in the 19th century or whatever, I would definitely be an abolitionist. I would definitely know slavery is wrong. But yeah, I mean, like if you grow up and you're sort of taught this from birth, and it's like everyone tells you that this is correct, it would definitely take like quite a bold person, I think, to kind of break out of that, I think.
Oh yeah, 100%. It goes into that nature versus nurture thing, and it goes into like if someone say from birth indoctrinated, because I think the main thing is if you had like a tree graph or whatever, there'd be say you had like a lot of people. No, I don't even know if a good amount of people will have like religion circled, and then branch off a lot of the conflict that comes from it. But that circle isn't the end circle. There's that religion branch comes from nurture, and that nurture bubble, if it will actually come from humans, like or actually it go. I would say it goes humans, branch off nurture, branch off ideas, and then branch off religion is one of the ideas that comes from that bubble. So like I think when a lot of people go and say, yeah, no, religion is the cause of this, or say even some people who there definitely are people like this who believe all conflict in the world is caused by religion. It's like, yeah, but where does religion come from? And that end branch, possibly, there could be something above it. I don't fucking know. But possibly is humans. Like at the end of the day, it was one of our ideas. It was one of human beings' ideas that came about. And it's a pretty popular fucking idea, kind of like the iPhone in a way,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think, and I think like another thing maybe to add to that is like, it's also maybe about like another sort of level up from religion, is like sort of like the social structure of a society, like if, I mean, I'm just saying like if there's a small sort of group of hunter-gatherers or something, like the way they whatever kind of religion they invent would be different than one that would be like a large sort of a city or something like that. It might look differently, I think. Like the kind of religion, like the way it's organized, like the whether there's like institutions or like a hierarchy in the religion, like I think it'll look different based on like a social structure, things like that.